With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. So here's a new one. Movie theater attendance hits a 24-year low. Ticket prices rise nearly 4%. And this has not been an uncommon thing. Since 2005, ticket prices have been, or ticket purchases have been dwindling. Right, they hit that peak year 2004 maybe, and then after that it started going downhill. I'm trying to think what came out in 2004. Spider-Man 2 came out 2004. Shrek 2 came out 2004. I don't really know, but ultimately it's been since 2005. And arguably one could say that that was kind of the big start of the massive comic book movie push. Wasn't around 2005. Is when we started seeing multiple movies per year. And that's interesting because now those are the top grossing films and the ones that people only seem to care about. But it says here that the National Alliance of Theater Owners, NATO, which I feel is a really horrible title, by the way, announced Wednesday that the national ticket average for 2017 rose 3.7% year over year up to $893, up from $865 last year. Now, at that average, the estimated number of movie tickets sold last year is 1.23 billion. Wow, that's low. Actually, you figured that'd be low. While that is only a rough estimate, it does not account for the higher ticket prices for premium formats and theaters in more expensive cities like New York and Los Angeles. NATO's estimate is the lowest since 1993 when Jurassic Park was a top grossing film of the year, and an estimated 1.24 billion tickets were sold. See, the thing is, okay, so you're looking at like 2017 had 1.23 billion. 1993 had 1.24 billion tickets sold. We've had a very large increase in general population since then, right? As I frequently mention on my main channel, between 1979 and 1999, you had the world population double from 3 billion to 6 billion. We're at 7 billion plus right now and estimated to reach 9 billion by 2050. Birth rates have started to decline in some cases. So this is one of those weird situations where I just find that to be odd, where the world population has heavily increased, but ticket sales for movies have not. And that's I think a clear indicator for just where Hollywood's going. 2017 highlighted once again the importance of a balanced 52-week movie calendar. NATO said in its analysis, a record quarter one in box office and admissions was offset by a disappointing summer, with a range of sequels that were not embraced by audiences in the numbers that we were accustomed to. In summer 2017, 92 million admissions short of 2016. An unusually empty August accounted for half of summer 2017 shortfall. A quarter four 2017 was nearly equal to quarter four 2016, with 315 million tickets sold compared to 319 million. Everything is down. Right? And this is the thing. But look at this here, a balanced 52-week movie calendar. That, I believe, is the one thing that Hollywood should focus on the most. And the reason why I say this is predominantly based upon the fact that they overload the summer schedule. Now, I've worked in movie theaters, hell, long time. I've worked in movie theaters a long time. Roughly, I want to say about 14 years of my life has been spent in working in movie theaters. Many of those years was as a manager. And I've seen, increases and decreases year after year, depending on what movies are out. But when it was around summer 2008, right, around June 2008 is when I started noticing that they were packing the theaters every week. 2 to 3 movies came out every single weekend during the summer of 2008. It made no damn sense. They were overloading it. And I worked at a drive-in. We had 2 screens. We played 4 movies. There were just movies we couldn't get because there was just too many options. And it is one of the, and I think we've seen this kind of play out a little bit with Netflix, right? Netflix will upload stuff, certain things. But if you're not looking for something specific, when you just want to, kind of browse through Netflix, you find yourself spending more time looking for the right thing to watch rather than just picking something. And I think that ultimately happens when it comes to movies. It's like, well, I only have so much money, so I need to do this. I mean, keep in mind, the economy was crap too in 2008, right? We're end of the Bush administration. I want to say that was right around the stimulus package that he had put out, but it wasn't enough. And I think people just got overloaded with options, and I think the Hollywood has been trying to replicate that kind of stuff for years. Look at where things are right now, right? You've got just in a couple months, Avengers Infinity War opens up first week of May. That's expected to do gangbusters, which means it's going to swallow the air out of everything around it for weeks. So Fox decides to move Deadpool 2 up 2 weeks in order to get out of the way of Solo, a Star Wars story, but therefore puts it within that encroachment range of Avengers Infinity War, which could, for all intents and purposes, absolutely swallow Deadpool 2 and swallow Solo, depending on how good the movie is. This is not just like the quintessential Marvel event. This is the quintessential movie-going event of the past 10 years, literally. And as a result of this, anything can happen. And so they're overloading that particular segment or that particular part in time. Deadpool would actually be better off by moving forward to mid-April than it would moving to mid-May. Absolutely, hands down. Or Solo should be pushed back to December to compete with Aquaman versus Marvel. This is the way things are right now. They need to do a solid 52-week release. Look at the successes of September movies over the course of the past couple years. That was almost unheard of. Right? The Maze Runner came out September 2014, did surprisingly well for a freaking September release, right? You had It just come out this last September, do $300 million. Everyone was blown away that a September release did as well. Get Out and Split were both released in January of last year, so a year ago, and both of those did pretty damn well. We're seeing superhero movies that are usually pushed to May and that time of year come out in February this year. We got Black Panther. Logan came out in March of last year. Not only did Logan come out in March of last year, Beauty and the Beast, Power Rangers, Ghost in the Shell. March was a very stacked month, and so was April, so was May. I mean, you can see this stuff play out, but Hollywood still just crowds the summer season. We're beyond that now. And I think this is an absolute direct result of that, because they cannot seem to figure out that you can space it. And because they're so concerned with doing with the movie coming out in theaters and then being on home video like 3 months later, you know, like they're just, it's hard to watch play out from just kind of an outsider perspective, because you're like, this is so frustrating to see. Like, you know what works, but you never seem to go through with it. And then we get articles like this that say that movie theater attendance is a 24-year low. And you know they're going to sit there and blame Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or other streaming devices or home video, because that's their general go-to. When we know for a fact that people are willing to go see movies, but they want the movies to be worth their while. Hollywood continues to churn out garbage. Garbage that is ultimately all based on the same screenwriting formula. That would be Blake Snyder's Save the Cat. The beat sheet is a very good tool when you're first starting out. We're not getting many things that reach outside of that realm. Well, maybe a little bit, but for a while there, it wasn't. It was pretty bad. So ultimately, Hollywood has only itself to blame here, and I don't feel bad for them at all. I just want them to keep making cool new movies, and I think we're going to get that more through Netflix than we are through anything else.